Hey guys, welcome back to Modern Mullet Project Car. First off, I want to thank everybody for reaching out on our first video and all the questions that came in. I'll do my best to get back to everybody as quickly as I can. As promised, I said I would go over what I had as far as where I bought things from and where they came from and the kind of actual work that went into making it all fit. First off, a couple questions were the hood that I put on. This was a hood bought offline from Car ID. A lot of fabrication, as most fiberglass hoods are. There's a lot of waves and stuff in there. The guy who painted it did a fantastic job. After I touched base with him and he's okay with me sharing his information, I'd be more than happy to share his name. Did a really good job. The body kit was a GT concept thing. As you can see, it's 100% molded front clip. It's all one piece from that fender all the way around to that fender back there, all one piece. The car has been lowered, 1.5 inch drop kit was put in. A lot of those third gen Camaros tend to stick up on the front end, almost had a rake upwards. And with such a low profile car, I thought it looked better, kind of sitting level and a little bit maybe down in the front. Kind of give it that little bit of a modern touch to it. I did go with a Camaro Iroc style chrome wheels. Those are 18 by 8s. Those are bought offline as well. Some people in town helped us get those on, did a fantastic job. Front and the back, both sides equals. Rear end, that's the original rear end in the car. We put 373 gears in it, kind of wake that motor up. The car came with a 305 tune port injection originally. As most of you guys know, with those tune port injections and the wiring issues that they had, it was a bit of a nightmare. We chased wiring issues for quite some time. I bought the car when I was 12 out of a junkyard, and have been fixing it ever since. I'm now 35 and starting to get this thing all put back together the way we wanted it. Under the hood here, completely custom. This is a stroker motor built in Youngstown, Pennsylvania by Danny Roman. Did a fantastic job. It is a full roller rocker cam car. We put the headers on it, try to open up the breathing. I apologize, it's wet. I just gave it a bath. We're out in the Dakotas and it's been sub-zero here for about 15 days. So it had a layer of dust and stuff on it where we've been working underneath the hood trying to get this supercharger all put on. We had to do a belt configuration here, change some things up with that new supercharger on there to get the clearances we needed so all the belts would work together. It was a bit of a hassle, but we ended up figuring it all out. Excuse me. We went with a Frostbite radiator with electric fan so that we could get the clearance in there without a mechanical fan driven off that water pump pulley. 3-row, very happy with it. We switched and had to reconfigure the way we had to run these lines over for the coolant line. I decided instead of coming across the front and then over, we decided to go underneath and then around and up to kind of hide it. The supercharger, that's kind of the meat and potatoes of this thing. The car kind of was around that 450 horsepower and equal torque prior to the supercharger. We went with a 750 Demon blow-through carburetor. I guess with these forced injection superchargers, you have to run a blow-through, otherwise they can't perform at optimal abilities. So we pulled the original 650 off and went with this 750 Demon. I'll be honest, Very happy with the Demon carburetor, bolted right up. It adjusted, sight bowls adjusted just about perfect. Minor adjustments that we had to do, and the responsiveness from that 650 to the 750 was night and day. Really excited to see what the supercharger does here with it. We haven't started it or anything like that yet. It's been so cold here that I haven't really dared to start anything quite yet till it warms up. Then came the hat for this is a Vortec V3 SI entry-level supercharger for a small block Chevy motor. I'll be honest, the fabrication that went into making this thing fit in here is not as easy as they sell it. We spent almost 3 days making sure that the fabrication on this would work. I think we got it pretty much pinned down now at this time. Like I said, there'll be some small modifications and things we'll have to do, but we got it pretty well set. First things we had were the spacing and stuff in the back wasn't lining up. The pulleys for the power steering pump down there weren't lining up, and things were just kind of a mess. Once we kind of figured out what we needed for spacing and half a dozen runs to the hardware store for proper spacing, we were able to get it all situated. I'll do a completely separate video on the supercharger itself as far as how to check oils, change oils, belt tensioner tightnesses and things like that. I've on a first name basis, I think, with Vortec at this point, but just wanted to make sure that once we got it all bolted on and up, that we had this thing running at optimal performance. But anyway, we appreciate you taking the time to ask the questions. I hope I answered quite a few of them. If you guys have anything else, hit the subscribe button. I'll keep you guys all updated with dyno tests and where we're at with numbers once we get everything dialed in and everything. Appreciate it. And thanks for subscribing.